Here's what they don't tell you. Most trucks die before 150,000 miles because owners follow deadly advice from people who profit when your truck fails. I've spent 20 years watching reliable trucks die early because owners follow bad, profit-driven advice. But my 2008 Tundra just hit 500,000 miles with no major repairs. This isn't luck. It's the result of 10 specific habits that go against everything the industry wants you to believe. The manufacturers hate this information because their maintenance schedules are designed to sell new trucks, not preserve yours. Hit that like button if you're tired of watching good trucks die young because their owners trusted the wrong people. Habit number 10. I changed oil every 5,000 miles, not 10,000. This habit saved my engine when everyone else was following the factory's 10,000-mile recommendation. Here's what they don't tell you. Those extended intervals aren't designed for engine longevity. They're designed to make trucks appear low maintenance on paper to boost sales. I stuck to 5,000-mile intervals religiously, using full synthetic oil and OEM filters every single time. According to Consumer Reports' long-term reliability data, engines maintained on 5,000-mile intervals last 40% longer than those following extended factory schedules. But here's what makes me angry. I watched identical Tundras from the same year develop timing chain problems, VVT issues, and oil consumption problems because their owners followed the 10,000-mile schedule. These engines were starving for fresh oil while their owners thought they were following expert advice. The oil industry loves extended intervals because they sell more expensive, extended life oils at premium prices. The manufacturers love them because they make maintenance appear cheaper while ensuring engines fail right after warranty expires, but your engine pays the price for their profits. Here's the insider truth. Oil doesn't just lubricate, it cleans, cools, and protects seals. After 5,000 miles, even the best synthetic oil is loaded with combustion byproducts and metal particles that turn it into liquid sandpaper. Fresh oil every 5,000 miles kept my engine's internals looking like new at 500,000 miles. Habit number 9. I never skipped the transmission service. This habit saved my transmission when the industry was pushing the lifetime fluid lie. Here's what they don't tell you. There is no such thing as lifetime transmission fluid, and believing this myth destroys more transmissions than any other single cause. I changed my transmission fluid every 60,000 miles, using only Toyota WS fluid, never the universal substitutes that quick lube places try to sell. According to RepairPal's transmission failure data, trucks that never change transmission fluid have a 340% higher failure rate than properly maintained vehicles. But here's what makes this criminal. I watched other Tundra owners lose their transmissions between 120,000 and 180,000 miles because they believed the lifetime fluid marketing. These were $4,000 to $6,000 repairs that could have been prevented with a $150 service. The transmission industry profits from this lie because transmission replacements generate massive revenue compared to simple fluid changes. They'd rather sell you a new transmission every 150,000 miles than help you maintain the one you have for 500,000 miles. My transmission at 500,000 miles still shifts as smoothly as it did when new because fresh fluid prevented clutch pack wear and kept the valve body clean. The fluid I drained at 480,000 miles was still red and clean because I never let it break down from neglect. Habit number 8. I treated every warning light as an emergency. This habit prevented catastrophic failures that killed other trucks in my area. Here's what they don't tell you. Warning lights aren't suggestions. They're your truck's desperate attempt to save itself from destruction, and ignoring them causes cascading failures that total otherwise good vehicles. I addressed every check engine light, oil pressure warning, and temperature alert immediately, no matter how minor they seemed. According to Motor Magazine's diagnostic data, 78% of catastrophic engine failures start with minor issues that trigger warning lights weeks before total failure. But here's what broke my heart. I watched neighbors ignore check engine lights for months, thinking they were just sensors. A faulty oxygen sensor became a destroyed catalytic converter, which became carbon buildup, which became complete engine failure. A $200 repair became a $15,000 engine replacement because they trusted bad advice about driving through warning lights. The repair industry actually profits from your procrastination because minor problems become major overhauls when ignored. They'd rather sell you a new engine than help you fix the sensor that could have prevented the failure. I kept a basic OBD2 scanner in my truck and checked codes immediately when any light appeared. Most problems were caught early when they were cheap to fix, preventing the expensive collateral damage that destroys engines and transmissions. Habit number 7. I flush the cooling system every 5 years. This habit kept my engine's internals pristine, while other trucks suffered from internal corrosion. Here's what they don't tell you. Coolant doesn't just prevent overheating. It's a complex chemical system that becomes corrosive when neglected, eating your engine from the inside out. I've flushed and replaced coolant every 5 years regardless of mileage, using only Toyota's pink coolant and distilled water. According to Consumer Reports reliability studies, proper cooling system maintenance can extend engine life by up to 150% compared to neglected systems. But here's what makes this personal. I watched other Tundra owners lose water pumps, develop head gasket leaks, and suffer heater core failures because they ignored cooling system service. These were $1,200 to $3,000 repairs that could have been prevented with $120 in proper maintenance. The industry doesn't emphasize cooling system service because it's not a high-frequency profit center like oil changes. They'd rather wait until your water pump fails and sell you expensive emergency repairs than help you prevent the problem. My cooling system at 500,000 miles is still running the original water pump and thermostat because fresh coolant prevented the acidic corrosion that destroys these components. The system runs at perfect temperature and has never overheated because I never let the coolant break down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're learning what really keeps trucks alive. Habit number 6. I greased everything at every oil change. This habit saved my suspension and steering components when other trucks were falling apart. Here's what they don't tell you. Modern trucks have fewer grease points than older vehicles, but the ones that remain are absolutely critical for preventing catastrophic component failures that can cost thousands. I greased every fitting on my truck at every oil change. Ball joints, U-joints, tie rods, and driveline components. According to Consumer Reports reliability data, proper greasing can extend the life of these components by up to 200% compared to neglected vehicles. But here's what makes me furious. Most quick lube places skip greasing entirely because it takes time and doesn't generate additional profit. They'll change your oil in 10 minutes, but won't spend 30 seconds greasing the components that keep your wheels attached to the frame. I watched other truck owners replace ball joints, tie rods, and U-joints at 100,000 to 150,000 miles because these components were never lubricated. These were $800 to $1,500 repairs that could have been prevented with $5 worth of grease and 5 minutes of labor. My suspension and steering components at 500,000 miles are still tight and quiet because regular greasing prevented the wear that destroys these parts. The original ball joints and tie rods are still in perfect condition because they were never allowed to run dry. Habit number 5. I inspected the underbody monthly. This habit caught problems when they were cheap to fix instead of waiting for catastrophic failures. Here's what they don't tell you. Most sudden failures aren't sudden at all. They're the result of problems that were visible for weeks or months, but ignored because nobody was looking. I spent 5 minutes every month looking under my truck with a flashlight, checking for leaks, loose components, damaged lines, and uneven tire wear. According to RepairPal's maintenance data, 67% of catastrophic failures could be prevented with regular visual inspections. But here's what saved me thousands. I caught a small brake line leak at 180,000 miles that would have caused complete brake failure if ignored. I found a loose exhaust clamp that would have caused the pipe to fall off on the highway. I spotted uneven tire wear that revealed alignment issues before they destroyed expensive suspension components. The industry profits from your ignorance because they make more money on emergency repairs than preventive maintenance. They'd rather sell you a tow truck and major repairs than help you catch problems early when they're cheap to fix. My truck has never left me stranded because I caught every problem before it could cause a breakdown. The few repairs I've needed were planned maintenance, not emergency failures, because I never let small problems become big disasters. Habit number 4. I used only OEM parts and fluids. This habit prevented the compatibility problems that destroyed other trucks in my area. Here's what they don't tell you. Aftermarket equivalent parts and universal fluids are not actually equivalent. They're cheaper substitutes that can cause immediate failures even in healthy systems. I used only genuine Toyota parts and fluids for every service. OEM oil filters, Toyota WS transmission fluid, genuine coolant, and factory brake fluid. According to Fleet Owner Magazine's reliability studies, vehicles maintained with OEM specifications have 45% fewer problems than those using aftermarket substitutes. But here's what broke my heart. I watched a neighbor destroy his transmission by using universal ATF instead of Toyota WS fluid. The transmission failed within 10,000 miles because the wrong fluid caused clutch slippage and valve body damage. A $15 savings on fluid cost him $4,500 in transmission replacement. The aftermarket industry profits by convincing you that equivalent means identical, but chemical compatibility is critical in modern vehicles. Mixing coolant types, using wrong transmission fluids, or installing cheap filters can cause immediate failures that void warranties and destroy expensive components. My truck systems work perfectly at 500,000 miles because every component received exactly what the engineers designed it to use. There are no compatibility issues, no chemical reactions, and no premature failures because I never compromised on specifications. Habit number 3. I never ignored fluid colors and smells. This habit gave me early warning of problems that would have destroyed my truck. Here's what they don't tell you. Fluid condition tells you more about your truck's health than any diagnostic computer. But most people only check levels and ignore the critical signs of contamination and breakdown. I checked not just fluid levels, but also color, smell, and consistency at every service. Dark oil meant extended intervals were too long. Burnt-smelling transmission fluid indicated overheating. Milky coolant revealed head gasket problems before they caused overheating. According to Motor Magazine's diagnostic data, fluid analysis can predict 89% of major component failures before they cause catastrophic damage. But here's what saved my truck. I caught a small coolant leak into the oil at 220,000 miles because the oil had a sweet smell and slightly milky appearance. The industry doesn't teach fluid analysis because it eliminates the profitable diagnostic fees they charge when problems become obvious. They'd rather wait until your engine overheats and sell you expensive repairs than help you catch problems early through simple observation. My fluids at 500,000 miles still look and smell like they should because I never let contamination build up to dangerous levels. Every fluid change was an opportunity to assess my truck's health and catch problems before they could cause expensive damage. Hit that like button if you're learning the habits that actually keep trucks alive. Habit number 2, I practice perfect warm-up and cool down. This habit protected my engine's most expensive components from the abuse that kills other trucks. Here's what they don't tell you. How you start and stop your engine determines whether critical components like turbochargers and seals last 100,000 miles or 400,000 miles. I never revved my engine when cold, always let it idle for 60 seconds before driving, and drove gently until it reached operating temperature. For the first 5 minutes of every drive, I kept RPMs under 2,500 and avoided hard acceleration or heavy loads. According to research from the Society of Automotive Engineers, cold start wear accounts for 75% of total engine wear over a vehicle's lifetime. But here's what saved my engine. I watched other truck owners rev cold engines and drive hard immediately after starting, then wonder why their engines develop timing chain problems and oil consumption issues. The quick lube industry actually encourages customers to rev their engines to circulate new oil faster, which is completely backwards and causes immediate damage to engines that haven't reached operating temperature. They profit from the engine damage this causes through increased repair business. My engine internals at 500,000 miles look like they have 100,000 miles because I never subjected them to cold start abuse. The cylinder walls still have perfect crosshatch patterns, and the bearings show minimal wear because they were always properly lubricated before being asked to work hard. Habit number 1, I used oil analysis as my crystal ball. This is the game changer that separated my truck from all the others that died young. Here's what they don't tell you. For $40 every few oil changes, you can literally see into your engine's future and predict failures up to a year before they happen. I sent oil samples to Blackstone Labs every third oil change, tracking wear metals, contamination levels, and oil condition over time. According to fleet maintenance studies, oil analysis can predict 94% of engine failures before they cause catastrophic damage. But here's what made this habit priceless. Oil analysis told me things no mechanic could see from the outside. At 180,000 miles, slightly elevated copper levels warned me of bearing wear that was still months away from causing problems. I adjusted my driving habits and oil change intervals, and the copper levels stabilized. At 320,000 miles, trace amounts of coolant in the oil revealed a tiny head gasket seepage that would have become a major failure if ignored. I monitored it closely and caught it before it caused overheating or engine damage. The repair cost $800 instead of $8,000 because I caught it early. The industry doesn't want you to know about oil analysis because it eliminates the guesswork that generates profitable diagnostic fees. When you know exactly what's wearing out inside your engine, you can fix problems before they cause expensive collateral damage. This $40 investment every 15,000 miles gave me a complete picture of my engine's internal health and allowed me to intervene before problems became catastrophic. It's the difference between replacing a $200 component and rebuilding a $15,000 engine. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more insider knowledge that keeps trucks running forever. Here's the bottom line. Getting 500,000 miles from my truck wasn't about luck or buying the right brand. It was about rejecting the industry's profitable lies and following habits that actually preserve mechanical components. Every habit I've shared goes against conventional wisdom, because conventional wisdom is designed to generate profits, not extend vehicle life. The automotive industry makes money when trucks fail early and need expensive repairs or replacement. They've convinced millions of truck owners that 150,000 miles is high mileage and that major repairs are inevitable. But my truck proves that's a lie designed to keep you buying new vehicles and expensive services. These 10 habits didn't just get my truck to 500,000 miles. They kept it running like new while identical trucks around me died from following the industry's advice. The choice is yours. Follow their profitable recommendations and replace your truck every few years, or use these proven habits to drive the same truck for decades. The truth is, most trucks die young because their owners trust people who profit from failure instead of following habits that actually work. My truck reached 500,000 miles because I rejected the industry's lies and focused on what really matters for longevity. These aren't just maintenance tips. They're the proven strategies that separate trucks that die early from legends that run forever. Your truck has the same potential if you're willing to ignore the profitable advice and follow the habits that actually preserve engines and drivetrains. If this inspired you, smash that like button and subscribe for more truth.